Okay, so chapter 316 was pretty much a chapter that I, as a big, huge fan of Asta, have been waiting for ever since Yami was kidnapped all the way back in chapter 260? Because in this chapter, we finally get to see Asta, the student, saving his mentor Yami. And this is something that you don't often see in Battle Shonen manga, because at least not in the ones that I read, because usually what ends up happening is that the teacher ends up dying in front of the student to develop the plot, kind of like what happened to what's her name, Genkai over in Yu Yu Hakusho, or off on some mission without the student having any idea of what's going on until it's too late, kind of like what happened to Jiraiya over in Naruto. But in Black Clover, Tabata set up for Asta to save Yami early on in the arc. It just became a matter of when and how, and I'm sure a lot of people will probably agree that the when probably should have happened a lot sooner, but we can all kind of agree that the how is something that Tabata killed. Because I mean, what better way for Asta to save his captain than to use the katana that he gave him and his own version of Yami's signature move? I mean, like, dude, seriously, seeing Asta use his brand new move, Infinity Slash Equinox, in this chapter was hands down the highlight from it. And then on top of that, we got to finally, after so many months of trying to figure out what this move could be or what its power could be, finally get to find out what the hidden power that the Demon Slasher Katana has is. And it turns out that the hidden power that it has is that it won't harm things that Asta doesn't want to hurt. And I kind of use this example in my spoiler video for the chapter, which if you haven't read or if you haven't watched, I guess there's no point in watching at this point. But yeah, I made a video about that. And basically in this example, I said, alright, say Marie, for some reason, gets kidnapped and her kidnapper is using her as kind of like a meat shield to keep Asta from attacking him. Well, Asta doesn't have to worry about anything because all he has to do is pull out the Demon Slasher Katana and he can just cut right through Marie without harming her, but hitting her kidnapper. And I mean, yeah, this is actually a pretty cool ability, although I'm not sure how I rank it in my opinion with the abilities that the other three swords have just yet. I'm not sure if it's my least favorite ability or if it's somewhere in the middle. It's definitely not my favorite one, that's definitely not it, but I'm not sure how I rank it just yet. Nonetheless, it's still a pretty cool ability. So yeah, Asta activates his Devil Union, cuts through the semi-manifested Lucifero, and Yami and William come falling out. That's pretty much all that really happens in this week's chapter. It's only 13 pages, and it felt kind of short, and there's really not much dialogue to go over, so there's not really much to talk about from this chapter. Although, we did get this pretty great scene in the beginning of the chapter where we flash back to Asta telling the rest of the squad that, hey, I can beat Lucifero without harming Yami and William, and they kind of just trust him and go along with it without any questions. And this just kind of just goes to show how much faith the Black Bulls have in Asta, which I mean really isn't unwarranted, because I mean Asta's been pretty much pulling off miracle after miracle since they've all met him. So why wouldn't they believe that he could pull this off? I mean, this is kind of just like a walk in the park for him at this point. But anyway, we also get to see a quick shot of Fugoyan and Mario Leona, you know, my two of my top favorite characters. And it looks like the two of them were actually getting ready to jump in until Asta cut Lucifero in half. But you know what? They might still get a chance to help out in the next chapter because obviously there's no way this fight's over just yet. More than likely in the next chapter something's going to happen that extends the fight just a little bit longer. And my reason for thinking that is the fact that we still haven't seen Asta struggle while using Devil Union. So far, no opponent has pushed him to the limit just yet. In fact, it's been pretty much a cakewalk each time he activated. So before we end this arc, just like how we did with every other character who revealed a brand new transformation or a brand new move, we really need to introduce a villain or opponent for Asta to really put his all into when fighting against in order to defeat them. And whether that ends up being a more manifested Lucifero or the next high-ranking devil that's supposed to come out of the second gate, either way, we know that this fight's not over just yet. But one thing we can say for sure is that we finally got over the major hurdle of saving both Yami and William, as much as people actually cared about William. But anyway guys, that's pretty much it for the video. Thanks for watching. I really do appreciate every viewer, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.